Hey guys, Pat here from the GhostBusters development team. I'm here with Harry Moore, illustrator extraordinaire. So I want to talk a little bit about these Ecto-Glow figures because if I need artwork done, I go to Harry. Harry is my guy. We work hand in hand on all these Kenner classics, trying to bring back the past, kind of make new stuff that feels old and old stuff that feels good. So let's talk a little bit about the Ecto-Glows and how we got where we are right now.
Well, last year at Comic-Con, we had a little conversation and you said, I think I'm going to get permission to be able to bring back the Ecto-Glow. And you asked them, would you be interested? And absolutely. So at that point, when we all got back to the real world, you started digging up cards. I had one card in a collection. I grabbed another one. You mailed them to me and started the real work of recreating these to make them look like the 1980s, 1990s, Terra GhostBusters art. So, and I've said this before, is even with all their little flaws and things, you could really compare these to your vintage cards and they're pretty close. So I think everyone's going to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So on these cards, we painstakingly, you more than me, recreated this artwork from scratch, from the ground up. And then for the box art for the main master carton here, we wanted to do something new, some new art inspired by Kenner's legacy with real Ghostbusters and some of the real Ghostbusters art that existed for the show, but kind of putting that Kenner spin on it.
Yeah, and looking at that, trying to put the mindset of what an ad agency would have done in that time period. They would have probably gotten some guide art or some early animation art and then run with it. And I see, if you look at a lot of the vintage Kenner stuff, that's what I believe happened. So Pat and I landed on a good group pose that would look good on the front of the box. So Pat's instruction was to, Kennerize it, give it that Kenner soft airbrush, no hard edges kind of feeling. So that's, that was neat because I feel like that was our first putting our toes in the water to seeing if we could do that, because I've done retro stuff for other brands at Hasbro, recreating things. There is still a challenge. It's not completely tracing, and there's some things that need to be changed. But then to try to come up with something that still fits without the true guideline was a challenge. And so this took a little bit longer than the individual cards. But then once we got there, I think that gave us the confidence that we can go ahead and do other things.
Yeah, and those other things are right here. So there was an opportunity with this Ecto-Glow capsule collection to do new artwork. What if Kenner kept going in 1991? What if they didn't stop with the Ecto-Glow figures, but they also went further with the Ecto-Glow? And that's kind of where our capsule collection is finding its home, in stuff that could have been, but wasn't. And we really are kicking that off with the Ecto-Glow Ecto 1, which is all new art. And I know that this was a fun one because you and I got to go back and forth a little bit about who's going in what seat and where, how are we positioning the ectoplasm slime on the front of the box, and how would a Ecto-Glow Ecto 1 actually look? So yeah, you want to talk about?
Well, one of the fun things for this is I usually don't do products, so it's the packaging, which, I love doing that. But when you were like, hey, we're going to do a little bit extra, we're going to have stickers that, the consumer can place on, we're going to have a window in the back with Slimer, and I'm like, okay, and, love being able to do the old school sticker sheets. If you're a Kenner fan from back in the day, all the brands, Star Wars, you had to label that spaceship, by hand. Yep. So we took, again, look at some of the stuff that Kenner did back in the day and used that as our template for how we wanted to do it, and then still, do something that was new. So I think that really turned out neat as well. And again, I was really, thankful that you called me and said, hey, you can do the sticker sheet, because sometimes those seem like two different lanes in our industry. There's the product people and the packaging people, and they're running parallel and they don't often intersect. So that was kind of neat. So when I see photos of the Ecto 1 itself, so if there's a sticker on the side or on the license plate or whatever, I contributed to that.
Yeah, and what's cool about this, and I don't know, a few diehards will probably pick it up. The Ecto 1 license plate that's on the front of this vehicle is the same font, the same style. If anybody's ever seen the prototypes for a certain glowcopter, there is a sticker on the front of that for the Ecto. I can't remember what the license plate says, but it's in the same font. I sent you a picture of it, and we were able to recreate that and really kind of bring home that whole collection, make it into something really great. So there are 3 items so far revealed in our Ecto Glow capsule collection, and you guys as fans have seen packaging for 2 of them. We revealed at Comic-Con on Thursday morning an Ecto Glow Classic Ghosts 2-pack that you and I have also gone and done new artwork for that people will see very soon. There's a lot more stuff coming from both myself and Harry. And I just, I wanted to bring you on and kind of talk a little bit about this and just thank you for being able to help me kind of bring this stuff back.
Well, thank you for calling me to do it, and then being patient with the back and forth, because another behind the scenes thing is I don't know how many times Pat gets a revised file from me. Version 5, version 6. Pat, no, I tweaked the license plate. I tweaked this. Okay, this is the last time I'm changing it. And then 3 in the morning, I jump out of bed and fix something else that's bothering me, or the glow around the Ecto Glow, kind of coming up with a formula to do that outer glow in that crazy 80s style. Yes.
I usually wait to hear from you on the phone before I download any files.
Yeah, because they're large files and it's time consuming, and I basically have wasted some of Pat's time by sending something, and then but as someone who's like a perfectionist and cares, I'm not just like dumping it like, yeah, I'm done and washing my hands of it. I'm like, I think about these things even after I've turned them in, and I know there's a little bit of wiggle room, but I know I'm pushing my luck on some of them.
I'm a fanboy, so for me, when I see new art like this, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna make myself like wallpaper for my computer with your artwork and just put it on. I just want to look at it all the time. It's great.
That's a good idea. Downloadables on the Hasbro Pulse site, and the fans can download.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
What you're allowed to do. I know Sony owns some of this stuff, but and it's fun. I know you said that we've got the Ghosts coming, and I think the fans will be excited with that because it'll fit right in with its collection. And I want to go back to what you were saying. I think that was so smart, is that this whole series will be a collection. They'll all sit together, and I didn't think about it until you said it today. Almost as if the Ecto Glow had legs and did not die an unfortunate early demise in the bargain bins at Toys R Us and Kitty City, and that it was it's able to keep going. And so that's when we do these things, we want them to look like they were done from the time period. And one of the things I really like that Pat does is some of these cutout things on the back that, when I got in the toy packaging, I kept the cards, I cut out the Transformers and G.I. Joe Bio cards. So these little things, even though this is for an adult collector, these little touches and the things that Pat and I go back and forth and say, what would Kenner have done? And we use that term, Kennerize the art, is that we're making it feel like the Kenner team from back in the day
never left.
Yeah, they're still cranking it out.
Well, thank you, Harry. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned for all the fun stuff that Harry and I get to do for the next year. So stay tuned.